What's up, y'all? It's Ref from Carolina Takedown Talk. Do you want an opportunity to get better? Do you want an opportunity to train with the best coaches in the state and some of the best clinicians in the state? We're talking D1 guys. We're talking D2, D3. We're talking All-Americans. And I can't even count how many North Carolina state champions are going to be here as clinicians for you guys. All right. The United States Marine Corps Sports Leadership Academy, presented by the United States Marine Corps, is hosting a free, you heard it right, free clinic on April 30th at the Greensboro Coliseum complex. All right. Like I said, this is a free, one-of-a-kind wrestling experience. You don't want to miss it. If you're in the state of North Carolina, if you're in the state of South Carolina, if you're in Tennessee, Virginia, if you're around anywhere, you want to be there. Coach Justin Hardy is going to be the head coach. He's the new head coach for Greensboro College Wrestling. All right. So instantly, you're going to have a college coach in the building right there. Okay. You're going to get a free camp shirt, free lunch, and a free swag bag, and access to camp photos and videos. Okay. Whenever you sign up, go to the registration link. We're going to post it in our bio. Make sure you heard it from a podcast / YouTube. All right. You guys really help us out by that. Like I said, this is not something that you want to miss. Wrestlers 14 to 19 are eligible to attend. Y'all, if y'all want to get better, if you didn't reach your goals this year or you just want to get better, don't miss it. It's going to be an awesome opportunity. Be there. We are here with the man. All right, we kind of always say that, but this guy proved he was the man and is still proving it, coming off of a All-American run at Greensboro College, state champ out of North Carolina native, Josh Wilson. What's going on, man?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming on. Big fan of yours in high school, and then, of course, everything you're doing in college now. Had, really a two-time All-American, but, they kind of had that COVID year, all that fun, weird, crazy stuff. But then this year, turned it on, got on the podium. How'd that feel, man?
It was kind of surreal. Like, it was crazy. See, what happened was going into the tournament, I was like a 15 seed, and I had like the number 1 seed going into the tournament. And like, what my thought process with that was, it's like, if I win the match, I'm the number 1 seed. I didn't really see it as me as a disadvantage because, like, going into that national tournament, it's like everybody's good. So like everybody's 0-0, So that's kind of how I looked at it. I ended up losing that match. And then I'm going to the Conti round. I'm like, and it was kind of like, I just had a close match with a guy who won it, and it was in the finals 2 times in a row. I just had a close match with him. So I'm going through the bracket. I'm going through the backside of the bracket. I'm just having fun. I'm free. And then next thing you know, and the crazy thing about it was, when I did All-American, I didn't even know that was the round of All-American. I thought it was the round after.
Oh, man.
So I get off the mat. I'm like, one more, coach. She's like, what do you mean one more? We wrestle tomorrow. Let's go. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm over here getting my cool down in. I'm like, what? No, we got one more. I look at the bracket. I'm like, oh, I did all. Like, you know what I mean? It was just
that's awesome. That's just being crazy. Locked into the moment,
Yeah, and like,
I think that's the definition right there of taking it one match at a time. Like, of being focused in the match you were in, not worrying about any other circumstances. Like,
I did not look at that bracket.
I love the mentality, right? And we talked about it a little bit off air, and I've talked about it on here before, and I've talked about it to coaches and different kids before, but like that mentality of, this is an opportunity for me to, like, you came in at the 15 seed, right? A lot of kids could go, man, there's 14 guys ahead of me. Like, I'm the underdog here. Like, let's just do my best, whatever. But you look at it as, I'm here. I have the opportunity to face the 1 seed. Like, I have the chance to be if I beat him, I'm the guy, And I love that. Like, just being able to, like, have that mindset of, I have the opportunity, I have the chance. And, it's really, that's what it is. It's a mental thing. It's just an approach to that match of, if I beat this guy, I'm the guy now. Like, I'm the 1 seed. And like you said, once you get to that big tournament, it doesn't matter what you did at the beginning of the year. It doesn't matter what seed you came into it. Like, everyone's 0-0. Like, I love that. that approach, man.
It's crazy. It's very unpredictable. Like I had I think I had 3 losses this year. Like I had one in the regional finals. I lost to the Cortland kid, and earlier in the season I lost to an Averett guy, like by 1 point. But it was the Cortland kid. He was like ranked number 3. He ended up not placing, which was crazy. It kind of messed the bracket up. But it didn't really affect my side of the bracket. My side of the bracket, I had number 8 and number 7, number 6, number 5, number 4. Like I just was like knocking seeds out.
Let's go. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was just
that's
picking
awesome.
seeds. It was a crazy experience.
Dude, so what got you into wrestling? We're gonna kind of we'll step back. We'll come back into college, but what got you into wrestling? When did you start? What's the story? Everybody has a story.
So originally, I was like doing Taekwondo. I was like a senior green belt, and then like I told my science teacher, Mr. Georgievich, I was like, he was a college wrestler. I don't really know where he wrestled at, but he was like, so what do you like to do, Josh? And I said, I like combat sports. Like I never grappled before. I said grapple because I thought it was like jujitsu, but it wasn't. Like, so he takes me to my first wrestling practice, and I see what's going on. And then my first like move that he taught me, it was like a double leg. So I was pretty athletic for my age. So I was just Jordan Burroughs everywhere, just boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's funny how it comes right back too. Like you go back to where it all started, right?
Right.
Like,
now, how old were you whenever
legs.
that was going on? Was that middle school or high school?
That was 6th grade.
Okay. So right in the beginning of middle school. Nice. So
it's crazy because I've met guys that are D1 that started in high school.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's never too late, or that's kind of just a testament to people, or it's like, you have people that start whenever they're 4 years old or 6 years old, but then you have people that start whenever they're sophomore in high school, and then, they end up being an All-American, or, going into college and being D1 starters and crazy things. It doesn't really matter whenever you start. It matters on how much work you want to put in. You know what
Definitely.
I mean? So what was it like coming up in that southeast room with Jed Cox, the famous Jed Cox?
I had some good drill partners. Like I had Carson Smith, Turner Garrison. Like it was like we was like a 1, 2, 3 punch. Like every time it was like
Murder's Row right there. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like but yeah, like it definitely helped me a lot on bottom because like at the time Carson was like pound for pound on top was just crazy. Like he would get near fall in the state finals. It was crazy. But yeah, like it was tough. And like, man, Jed is a good coach, man. I still trading with him sometimes in this wrestle room that he has in his garage. It's crazy.
No, that's awesome. So 4-time placer, 1-time champ, and you had some awesome matches and awesome high school career, right? I mean, it doesn't matter whichever way you look at it. 4-time placer is solid, especially in some of the brackets that you had in high school, looking back at them, right? So leave high school, or, when did you know and when did you decide in high school that you wanted to wrestle in college? Was that something like in 6th grade, as soon as you found out like you could wrestle in college, like was that something that you were like, that's what I want to do? Or
I had the idea of like, I always like had the idea that I kind of got into it really late.
Yeah.
Like with looking at colleges and stuff, like I was kind of focused on like high school, like just trying to get a state championship. But once I got to it, I'm not going to lie, like I was focused on the wrong thing. I just wanted that D1 hype, I see a lot of seniors run through it. I mean, it's a phase, like, for some. But yeah, I just wanted to go like D1. I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy. I'm going to be like Roman Bravo Young. I'm going to go out there and give me a national title. So I ended up going to Campbell. And it was awesome. Like, it was great. Like, training partners was great. Facilities was great. Everything was cool. But I talk a lot with the seniors that I'm friends with and teammates is about the big fish, small pond aspect. So in this case, I was a small fish in a big pond. I tell seniors, I'm like, you want to be that guy. Because if you're not that guy, it's going to be rough. Like, so going into it, I was like fourth, fifth string. I was working my butt off. I was doing what I was supposed to, but I kind of understood like the program is like, you're not that guy. So I went back home. I was like a big fish in a small pond at that point, you know, and I was grinding it out. And then I go straight, and the crazy thing about it was when I transferred right into the season. So I got all that Campbell training, and then I go straight into the D3 season. And then I go undefeated the whole season. We didn't have a national, like NCAA tournament.
Right.
It was the NCAA. So we didn't have a regional. So we go into, and for some reason, I believe that like the NCAA, well, NWCA or whatever.
Whichever one it is.
Like, I feel like that one was harder than the NCAA.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that, like, there was no qualification, like, no regional. So this bracket was huge. Like, you know.
Right. It was like, huge, and you didn't have, like, a lead into it, you know. A lot of guys use that regional tournament kind of as a gauge of, like, all right, here's where I'm at. You know, here's what I'm good at right now. Here's where I'm struggling. Here's what I need to work on before we get into the national tournament. You know, you didn't have that gauge.
Yeah, I remember how it went. It was like, I think our last match was Southern Virginia. We're on the bus back from Southern Virginia, and coach is like, they cancel NCAAs. We're done. So, but we're still training though. We're still training. We're training all year round. And then, like, one practice, like a month later, he's like, hey, we got a national tournament going to. You know, it's basically going to be like NCAAs, but it's not. Everybody's going to be there. And it was like, so I went into it. I didn't know what to expect. It's been like a whole month, because regionals is like probably like 2 weeks before nationals. There's a whole month I didn't go with competition. So I'm in there, I'm like, wow, I don't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I guess that kind of, the attitude I had, just like, it is what it is, kind of helped me. Because I'm just like, I just go in there and I'm beating seniors, and I'm beating like these guys that are graduating next year. And then I'm in the semis, and I'm just like, this is weird. Like, you know, it's like, what just happened? I didn't compete for like a whole month, and I'm like 4 matches deep in this, and I'm in the semis, and it's like, I ended up losing that match to like he'd been in college for a while. Mm-hmm. He ends up winning that national tournament. I go in the backside of the bracket. I end up placing 6th, which was pretty good for a freshman. You know, like that was my first time ever.
First college national event, yeah.
Yeah, but after that, like, it was kind of like I was like even more hungry. Like, I wanted to be there again. Like, that was kind of my thing with this year too. Like, after placing 5th, like, I was talking to Coach Hardy, and he's like, the gap between 5th and national champ is this big. Yeah. You know, at that point,
it's one trend, it's one flurry, it's one takedown, it's one escape maybe at the right time. It's getting that takedown last, you know, into the period or in a period on top. You know, it's that small little gap between national champ and All-American, you know.
Yeah.
And there are your outliers, you know, there are your guys that major their way through the NCAAs, right? But majority of the time, you go back and look through a national champs, like run through a tournament, they had a tight match in there somewhere, you know.
Yeah, and it, for some reason, it kind of depends on brackets too. Mm-hmm. You can get an ugly draw, but I don't really look at it that way. I kind of see myself as the scary draw.
Yeah,
like, I see myself.
Yeah, you're the bad draw. Yeah,
yeah, like, just because, like, stylistically is.
You're a bad draw for just about anybody. Yeah, you know, you're explosive from everywhere. You're athletic. Like, you move like, well.
I'm on my knees, and they're like, "Oh yeah, easy, go behind." Nope.
Yeah, straight through. You know, yeah, Burrow style. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
So, go. I mean, this year, national tournament. You know, run through the season, national tournament, end up on the podium, tight match. You know, like you were just talking about. It's that much of a difference. You know?
Yeah.
So you get back, kind of some turmoil and you know, in the program. And, you know, we don't have to get into a lot of it, but now, you know, Justin Hardy is announced as the Greensboro College head coach. Just tell us a little bit about that. Did you know Hardy before this? And I know he's in the Greensboro area.
Yes, I actually did. See, I would Heath Gagne, when I would roll with him.
Yeah.
Hardy would be there, and that's before Hardy opened up his club, Spartan Elite, and then I would go to his club a lot. I didn't even know he was going for the job, but it was kind of like he went for the job, kind of like he's like supporting the city and the community itself, because it would have really been bad if we just
if another program dropped in Greensboro.
Yeah. So I see it as him saving it and making it better. But Hardy, he's that guy.
Yeah, he is.
I trust him, and
I'm really excited to see what he does with the program. Especially with you guys having a women's program and the men's program. I think Greensboro College could be a marquee program in the state. I'm just excited to see what Hardy can do with that. But how do you feel being the guy that he's going to build around? Hey, to put it like this, you and it's Haisu, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
okay. We have a history of butchering names here on this show, so I like to try and make sure. But how does it feel that you and Hai are the two building blocks? Like, y'all are the foundation for Hardy's tenure at Greensboro College.
It feels good. Me and Hai are going to do whatever possible we need to do, to just build this school up, because it's not even just a school, it's our home, it's where we're from. So it's
borough built.
We're gonna put everything into it. Yeah, literally I live Greensboro is 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
I could
borough built, and I hear you.
So it's a little more than just school to us. It's more of it's home. We protect it, we build it, type of thing. So anybody that
there's pride,
everybody
which kind of fits because that fits.
Yeah, we have that pride, and it fits the.
It kind of worked out well. I don't know. That's where you're going with it, but that's literally what you are. What you're describing is having pride for your program, being proud of something that you're building. You're from there. It's special to you because that's your home. Like you said, it's defending.
It's a crazy situation. Not many people get to go to a private school and get free education.
Right.
You don't see that often. And that's kind of why, I had to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot, because my goal, even outside of wrestling, is get through school and pay as less money as possible while wrestling, getting a good education. That's a part of that. You got to look at your situation, because opposed to Campbell, paying 10, 12,
maybe even more. Yeah,
it's not a good deal. That won't be good.
Right, and I think it's one of those things for everybody, for guys watching and everything. I think I don't want to put words in your mouth. What I'm understanding is it's you got to find the right fit for you. You got to find the right situation and the right fit for you. And, a kid next year could go to Campbell for a recruiting visit and go there and this is the perfect fit. This is the education that I want. This is and love that program the same way that the kid can go to Greensboro College, App State, Queens, all these different places. And it's all about finding that fit for you. And it's so important, whenever you find a place that makes you feel the way you do about Greensboro College now, right? The way that it's I want to build this program. I want to leave this program better than I found it, right? I want to be the guy that whenever we look back in 10 years at Greensboro College wrestling, we're going to look back and go Wilson started this. He was the guy that really kicked this off. And I think you're on the right track to doing that. And I'm excited to see what Hardy can come in and
Hardy,
do.
It's already Hardy's he's super connected in the area. Mm-hmm. So we can I'm not going to disclose which programs, but we can train with different programs, and get that extra help,
right.
And a lot of donors and fundraisers and supporters.
And a lot of times some programs just need that. Some programs just need that guy that understands, I I got to do what I got to do to build my program, and to give people the opportunity and put them in the situation that they can succeed. So what's the plan for this off season? Are you wrestling in freestyle? Are you still training?
Yeah, I have a list of freestyle tournaments I'm looking at. I'm probably depends on I have to see the budget and stuff to see if we'll be able to travel. But if not, I think I see one in NC State. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Is that one college or is that high school? The NC State one. I'm not sure about that one.
I'm not sure. I know there's a few that have open divisions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure. I don't know if there's any colleges. I know a lot of I know if you were going to try and go down to Vegas for
U23 is definitely
okay.
That's what we're training for. But I was going to try to get some
just a little bit of time on the mat.
Yeah, definitely some mat time. But yeah, U23 is what we're training for. But that's a long time from now,
Right.
So I'm just trying to see some open mat time, But see, the reason why traveling out of state right now is kind of crazy because we're new coach.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. Yeah,
we got to figure out all that stuff.
Yeah, you got. I mean, you have to rebuild the program. I mean,
it's
essentially. I don't know, the assistant coach situation. I don't know any of that stuff, we
have volunteers.
Yeah,
unpaid volunteers right now. But as far as an assistant coach, we don't have a paid assistant coach yet.
Right.
But.
Right, that's what I was saying. Whenever a new head coach comes in, they kind of have to start from the ground up of just figuring out, okay, what's my budget? Who are my guys? What's my roster? You got to kind of come in and because he didn't recruit any of you guys, where he's fortunate because he's been in that Greensboro area. He probably knew most of the guys on the team, or he had a good idea of some of you. He knew you already, right? So, that's a big advantage, but you kind of have to rebuild that program and almost start from scratch, and so, but like I said, as soon as it was crazy, Hardy, me and Ryan were on the phone with him. We was talking to Ryan and it's man, you couldn't tell us. We got the tweet, man, we got the news and somebody sent us a link and we clicked on Greensboro's page and it was now announcing new head coach Justin, and we're just dang man, you kept that under wraps.
For the hiring of the coaches, it was almost like a tournament. They had a bracket and it was and Hardy was in the finals, but he didn't tell anybody that he won it.
He was just he kept that thing quiet and just what was that like whenever he came in? Did he have a meeting with the whole team?
It was actually I was shocked because there was a meeting and the AD he told me I was can you tell me, give me a hint of who you're gonna hire?
Right.
I can't tell you, but tomorrow we got a meeting and you're gonna see. I was expecting. I'm gonna keep it real. I was expecting just to see some high school. I was expecting to see somebody that just
gets a chance to come up to the.
Nobody, right? Then I see Coach Hardy. I'm
hold on, we got somebody. Yeah.
It was cool because just the connections that he has and how experienced as a coach he is and if you look at Northern he got them to a state championship in 3 seasons.
Oh, trust me, he beat. I coached against him in the state finals whenever they won that one. He beat the Inca team that I was on the staff with, and so I saw that firsthand in the levels that he has kids jump it's insane.
And that's high school too. And that's hard because in high school you get kids coming in the rooms I'm not sure if I want to wrestle.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to push this today.
I'm just trying this.
Definitely.
College guys, they're dedicated. They want to get better. They want to win. They want to go to the national tournament, and it's a whole different mindset.
Right.
And he brings that different level of coaching too. He doesn't coach us the same way he coaches his club.
Right. No. And it's a different intensity. And you have to have that. Man, like I said, I can't wait to see what he does with that program. So what's anything else going on? Any clubs, clinics, or anything like that for this off season?
There's this one Marines thing. I think I'm doing a clinic. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, April 30th.
Yeah, April 30th. It's going to be some Greensboro guys there.
Right. I think Hardy's a coach. I think that Woodburn is as a coach. And I know you're going to be one of the clinicians there. I think we've got some other big like North Carolina name guys coming in. So
it sucks that Will Burn is. I understand like he's going to Coast Guard, but man, we wanted him. We wanted him back.
Yeah,
like, because we train with him all the time. Like and like but
it's opportunities, and it's just like we talked about. It's finding that fit, and it's finding that fit for you as a person and for you as an athlete and you as a student, and like that's the big thing about the college recruiting world. Making that decision is you got to find the best fit for you, So what's the we'll wrap up here soon, but like if you could, high school kids watching this or middle school kids watching this, North Carolina kid, what's some words of advice or, words of wisdom from a North Carolina kid that had success in high school and is now finding success in college? Like, we know your story's not ending. Like, it's not done. Like, you still got chapters, you still got titles to win, and like that's still the goal. But what's some words of wisdom for a high school kid in North Carolina watching?
For a high school kid, I would say go out there and challenge yourself. Like a lot of guys don't go to certain tournaments because they don't think they're worthy, or they don't put themselves on that stage because they don't think they're worthy. Go out there and create a name for yourself. Like things can change. You could just be that 15 seed and beat that number 1 seed and be that guy. So and another thing, go out there and wrestle free.
Let it fly.
When there's a lot on the line, it's really easy to hold back and let's hope we win 1-2. Let's hope we win 1-0. Right. Like, no, go out there and just run the score up. Go out there and have fun.
No, definitely. And then last thing, we got to hear one. What's the best Jed Cox story? And you can think about it for a second. What's the best Jed Cox story you can say on the show? That he wouldn't mind you telling.
It was my freshman year when we won states. Like there was this West Forsyth guy, and I think he had to tech or pin his guy for West Forsyth to win the state tournament, and he didn't. I don't know where Coach Cox came from. I swear I thought I saw him on the floor. I was in the bleachers. Well, not the bleachers, but the stands.
Yeah.
I just next thing I know, he's right here in front of me and everybody's around me. And then Jed Cox just grabs my head and
he's going crazy.
It's like, it's just everywhere. And because that's when we knew we locked it up. And it was that was probably the craziest Jed Cox experience ever.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So was he a big, part of your, I know he was, your high school coach, but, some guys don't have good relationships with their high school coach. Was he a big factor?
Oh no. Like whenever I had to figure something out, and not just him, like Coach Johnson, like if I had to figure, even outside of wrestling, if I just had to figure something out, like they were there, like, like that's like family.
Yeah.
Like I live literally 2 minutes away from Coach Cox. Like I visit him all the time. Like, and like I even help his guys out. Like, like that's always going to be there. Like Southeast is always going to be.
Do you think that you coming up in that Southeast program with that staff and that feeling of family that, that they've instilled, like you can go watch them wrestle and, I don't ever want to say that coaches don't care about their kids. But you can always see whenever a coach really cares about their kids. And It's very clear that that staff cares about their kids. Like you can just tell, and you can tell how the way that they fight for them, the way that they coach them, the way they get excited, and sometimes the way that if a match doesn't go their way, like you can see that it hurts them just as much, sometimes even more than the kid that lost. Do you think that coming up in that program is kind of what has instilled, your sense of pride, like that kind of that's going into the Greensboro college room now? Like what?
Yeah. Like going into Southeast, it was like Turner Garrison and Carson Smith were like those guys. They were like the older guys in the room. And like, they bashed your head in. And like when they leave, it's like your time to pick up the torch,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like taking that place at Greensboro. I'm like the guy that's, enforcing, and I'm making these guys better. So when I graduate, there's going to be the next face of Greensboro. There's going to be that guy, putting on for Greensboro. That's my goal. You know what I mean? Is to grow it, because I'm a local guy. So It's not just a school that I live 10 hours away that I'll never revisit when I graduate.
Yeah, you wear a shirt of, and you can rep them at the national title. Yeah, like, or, at a national tournament. But
like, I even have in my bio, my Instagram bio, just a kid from the borough. Yeah, because I'm just a kid from the borough. Like, I'm homegrown. This is where I'm from.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I love that, and especially what we're doing here with Carolina Takedown Talk. We're trying to grow the sport in North Carolina. And what has to happen is programs like Southeast Guilford and attitudes and mentalities like yours, where we have to leave this better than what we found it. And it's coaches like Jed Cox, and it's guys like you with that mentality, and guys like Justin Hardy, that we have to continue to have. And I'm so glad to see that era really coming through. And it's really a big tip of the cap to Jed Cox for installing that, and anyone, any club coach that you ever had or anything like that had an impact on that attitude. But that's what we have to have for this state to grow. Like, we can't just keep on having kids be good in high school, then go to college, and then, that like they had their college career and that was it. Like,
we get back.
Yeah. And so it's awesome to hear that. It's awesome to hear your mentality. I was already a fan, but this has made me even bigger fan, man. Can't wait to see you this offseason, see you keep on competing, see you jump levels, and then see you back out there next year putting on, man. I'm just excited for you. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.